What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Be More moment. My name is Tachi, and this is my car. As you can see, I'm in the car again. I was thinking about something as I was shopping, and so I said, I need to do this now while I'm thinking about it. So part of the lesson here is it's not always about having the perfect background, the perfect lighting, etc. It's not perfect for me now. Sometimes it's just purely about the message and the content, and I urge you to get on and put your message out there when you have it, okay? So what I wanted to talk to you about today is a few things. This is going to be a shout out at the end, but it's also going to give us something to consider and ponder. On your client, a lot of us are making content now, right? And you're getting recognized for making content. You may get to the point that you get very well recognized for making content, get a lot of people that subscribe to you or follow you on social media, etc. So that gives you a little bit of power. Lest we not forget that at one point we were that live streamer, that podcaster, that video creator with one follower, with one person watching. Everybody starts with one. As such, you know how it feels to be on the climb up. And you probably also know how it feels to ask people to come on your show and to be told no. And that's okay because, not everything is for everyone. But I urge you not to be that person. Now, consider whether or not that particular platform aligns with your brand, aligns with your beliefs. Sometimes it doesn't, and it's not a fit, and that's okay. And in that case, you decline and let them know why. And maybe the person is just like you've seen something and they're just not there yet. That's fine too. If it doesn't align with your brand, but don't discount someone to go on their show for an interview or whatever the case may be because they are a smaller platform, because you don't know who they are. And I'm speaking specifically to people that may be YouTubers, that may be very big on Instagram or TikTok. Those are ways to really blow up and you get a lot of notoriety. But as such, some of you all, and let's tell the truth, some of you all are getting a little big-headed and you think it is beneath you to be on these smaller shows. And I'm here to tell you it is not. Any type of publicity that aligns with your brand is good publicity. It costs you nothing to do that, right? And it costs you nothing to be nice about it if you can't do it. The rude way to do it is just to not say anything and not respond, right? Also, don't leave the person hanging like, oh, okay, let me get back to you. And you never do. And granted, you're busy, but so are we. Your busy is not more important than our busy. You may think so, but it's not. So be nice about it, right? And really consider, because those could be great opportunities. Remember, we all started with one, and those smaller media outlets, they may be on the come up and you may have missed your boat. I'm telling you now, and I can understand when people tell me no, and no hard feelings, but if I ask you and you hum and haw, believe I will not ask you again, because you showed me then that I was not worth your time. And so what makes you think that later on, when I do blow up, you will be worth my time? You won't. Okay. So it may sound mean, but no, it's not. So really, you don't know who could be of help to you later or of service to you later. So it reminds me of the story of when Jennifer Lopez was supposed to be on Conan O'Brien, and it was like right after Selena came out. Well, they had so many guests that she actually got bumped, and they said, oh, and unfortunately we didn't have time for Jennifer Lopez. Really? Now, I don't know that she had been on the show again, but shortly after that, she started to blow up. So I'm sure she was like, oh, well, no, you didn't have time for me before, so no. Right? And again, maybe it's nobody's fault, but that incident shows that you did not feel that my time or my presence was important enough. So why would I now go on there? So, okay, that's one thing. Don't look up or don't look down on any opportunity to get publicity, if it aligns with your brand, is good publicity, right? Secondly, if you have a show, don't look down on every guest. Now, again, not everybody who approaches you to be on your show is a fit for your show, and that's okay as well, because often somebody may have written a book or have something coming out, and it may not align with what you do. I'll give you an example. MediaScope is very media tech and pop culture centered. So if someone approaches me and they're, for example, in the sciences, simply because they have a new invention in the science, a new invention does not make them a fit to come on the show. But what I will do is like, well, all right, well, do you have a podcast? Do you have something that's media that I can tie that in? So I'll find a way, especially if they're really good guests and they're doing important work, I'll find a way to tie them in. If I can't find a way to tie them in, or they're just not a fit for me, I'll tell them, we're very strictly media tech and pop culture here. It doesn't fit with what we do, but have you tried X? Or if I really like what they do, I will point them in the direction of some other people that I know and say, you know what? Let me make an introduction between you and this person because I think there could be a fit. You can do those types of things as well. So just as we're saying to other people, consider the smaller podcast and consider the smaller media, I want you to consider the smaller, and smaller is not a good word, but the maybe less well-known guest, because they probably have something that your audience could really use, and it's great for you. It's always great to have guests. Again, sit and consider what your brand is. Sit and consider whether or not that person fits in, and vice versa the other way. If you fit in to somebody else's podcast, and I keep saying podcast, but let's use that as a euphemism for all media or somebody else's platform, right? So these are the things that I wanted to talk to you about today and think about. And so what I want to say is there have been some YouTubers that have been amazing that have, when I said, hey, would you come on the show, did not hesitate. Life with Glory B is one. She's amazing, and she also happens to be a creator on Indie Soup Media, which will be debuting soon. Shameless plug. Robert Williams Films, hilariously funny, big TikToker, big time Instagrammer. He's also a YouTuber, and he's just really wonderful. I asked, and he said yes right away, right? He took a look at my account and said yes right away, and we had a great conversation. Urbanist, who was a big time, a really well-known YouTuber, and I asked him to come on the platform, and he said yes. And part of the thing is he recognized that I watch his videos, and I'm a member of the community of his live streams, and so he recognized that and said, of course I will. Reciprocity, right? Absolutely. So those three individuals, and there are many more people who have come on and said yes. Okay, the comedian Coca Brown, I asked her, and this, I think it's been about 3 or 4 years since she's been on, but she came on twice. She came on the podcast and she came on the live stream, and all I did is ask her and she said yes. So Coca, thank you. So I know there are more people that have come on that have said yes. And of course, any of you that I've asked, thank you. But it's like we're family and we know we'll do that for each other. But the people that have a little bigger of a platform that have said yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. You will always have a seat on MediaScope. So I hope that was useful for you. Don't discount smaller, quote, guests or less well-known guests. And also don't discount going on less well-known media platforms, because it could end up being fruitful for all of you. All right. Well, I hope that you are going to have a great Saturday. It's hot here. I'm probably going to the beach. Don't be jealous. But I'm sending you some sunshine and fun anyway. All right. Cheers.